Hey, Josh, happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day, Peter. Thank you so much. It's Earth Day is so exciting because it's an opportunity for us to really appreciate our environment. And it's just so cool to be hanging out with you on Earth Day.
Yeah, happy to be hanging out with you as well. And I'm enjoying it too. I'm sort of already getting the vibes.
Excellent. Do you know, the exciting thing, I guess, is that we're not only chatting to you, but we've got lots of other people on the line, which is great. So, huge happy birthday to them as well. I mean, happy Earth Day, happy birthday to the Earth.
and Josh, tell us, so you've created the Litter Club, and tell us what the Litter Club or what Earth Day means for the Litter Club.
Well, I guess the big thing about Earth Day is that the Litter Club, founded almost 2 years ago now, is all about the Earth, and it's about protecting the environment. Now, we look at different aspects of that. We look at, I guess, the Earth itself, but we focus a lot on the marine environment. But we have to remember that a lot of the issues that happen within our marine environment actually come from the land. So, when we talk about Earth Day, it's all encompassing. It's the land, it's the ocean, it's kind of everything. And it's really appreciating the incredible beauty that we have on this planet, that from deserts to green, lush forests, and then, our local reefs, and then the deep blue of our biggest oceans.
Okay, you've got litter in your name. What does litter have to do with the Earth?
Well, yeah, we have got litter in our name, and really, what does it have to do with our planet? Typically, we find that people, I guess, know the right thing to do. And it was funny, I was just reading an article today, Peter, about how litter actually affects people. So it's not just a case of we see it and we don't like it. It actually affects our whole community. It affects the way we feel about ourselves. It affects the value of our properties. It affects us as a community, because when we see litter, it actually reduces, and this was quite interesting from a psychological point of view, it actually reduces our appreciation and our community pride, our appreciation of our local community. So we see people litter our community and we don't feel so good about it. So, this is having litter in our name. Of what does it mean? It starts all the way from how we feel about ourselves and doing the right thing, all the way down to what we do, and that's going and picking up litter, not only in the ocean, but in the beaches, rivers, and doing community cleanups as well.
I was just going to get to that. Maybe you could sort of pull out the difference between litter and pollution.
Yeah, okay. So litter, I guess, litter is everywhere. And to me, there is a border in there, in the sense that litter we see in so many places. Litter causes pollution. Now, there's not the only thing that causes pollution. Obviously, there's a lot of impacts on our planet and on our Earth, and they come from burning of fossil fuels, etc. Do we call that litter? Not typically. Typically, litter is something that is obvious within our community and can be very, I guess, disconcerting. And going back to that whole thing affecting our community pride.
Yeah, without splitting hairs, litter says to me something about personal choices. Pollution seems to be a background thing. It's arrived somehow, but litter is actually through choices.
Yeah, that resonates with me. Litter, we can instantly do something about. Pollution, bigger corporation, that kind of has that feeling of bigger corporation, and the impact of what litter brings, as well as, I guess, kind of many other things, and that's, as I say, things like fossil fuels and things like that.
Okay, so we said that litter is in your name, but what is the Litter Club all about?
Wow, Peter, great question. Love answering this because it gives me an opportunity to really tell, I guess, my story and where it started. Professionally, I'm in project management and have been for many, many decades. You can pick that up by my age, which if you could see me, but you can certainly pick it up from my old croaky voice. Do you know, I've been scuba diving for the last 10 years, and part of that was I grew an incredible appreciation for the underworld, for the under the ocean. And, you know, it's not just fish. Fish with their incredible colors, you know, crustaceans, you know, beautiful colors, beautiful movements, etc., small and big, you know, but the amazing corals, how coral lives, the colors of that, the ecosystems that are built around that. And what I found was that I was starting to see deterioration of those corals and starting to see impacts of what we were doing. And it wasn't until I watched a movie in Singapore. I was living in Singapore and I watched this incredible movie called Blue the Film. And it really demonstrated many aspects of what's happening to our ocean, not just pollution, but also things like overfishing, you know, fishing nets, which we're seeing in that movie, Seaspiracy at the moment. You know, different aspects of what we were doing wrong, shark fins and things. And it just kind of made me realize that I need to give something back. I need to actually take action. Now, we called the Litter Club, but our parent company is actually called Love is an Action. And I truly believe that I've heard so many people say, I love the ocean and I love scuba diving and I love going to the beach with my family. But when we do that, we don't necessarily do the right thing by the environment. So my whole thing was about action. Don't talk about it anymore. Get in and start doing something. Now, if you look at the Litter Club, we started from very small beginnings, and we got hit by the circuit breaker in Singapore. And last year, when I was based in Singapore, we picked up 2,020 kilograms worth of litter off the beaches and rivers. So that was 2020 and 2020.
Tell us about that. Yeah.
Sorry, this year in Singapore, Peter, we have already picked up in the first 3 months of this year, and circuit breaker is still there, but it's a little more lax.
Okay.
Over just 4,500.
I got a bit lost there with the circuit breaker. Tell us about circuit breaker.
Oh, sorry. That's what they call lockdown, or that's what they call a movement control, or that's what they call in Singapore. They called it a circuit breaker.
Okay.
And they basically that was we weren't allowed to go outside. We weren't allowed to meet everybody. So throughout 2020, we only managed to pick up 2,020 kilograms, although it's still massive for small groups of people going and doing it. This year already 4,500 kilograms in Singapore alone. Where in Malaysia we have a lockdown as well, and now that we're based here as well, we've already picked up close to 2,000 kilograms this year, and that's having to go out again in very small numbers, 1 or 2 people at a time, and actually do cleanup. So we are ecstatic that the pandemic is starting to change a little bit, and from our point of view in Asia, and with a little more vaccinations, etc. So it means we can get out and do a bit more.
Okay, great stuff. Great to hear that. 2,000 kilos from the beach. That makes a big difference. Well done.
It does.
Well,
that's the action aspect, I guess, of what we do. We like to be visible. We work hard on social media, etc., to ensure that people see what we're doing for the ocean. And when we think about it, 4,000 kilograms sounds a lot, but on a daily basis, with hundreds of thousands of kilograms entering our marine ecosystem, we're really fighting against it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's low-hanging fruit. It's there. It's on the beach. It's deteriorating the quality of the beach. It's bad for everybody, and good to get it off the beach. How do you organize the beach cleanups? Do they is it a social thing, or do you have employees? I mean, what's the structure?
It's 100% self-funded, volunteer-based. Everything that kind of needs to get paid for, I open my very small purse, and we do what we can. We have incredible volunteers in Singapore and Malaysia. Our ambassadors organise cleanups every week. So they're amazingly active. In fact, 2 weeks ago we had 3 cleanups in Singapore just alone, and 1 here in Malaysia, and that's between 30 people coming out to each cleanup. We have to restrict it. That's the nice thing, Peter, and talking about that leads on to how we get the public involved. So there's 2 kind of aspects there. We get people joining us from the public who just want to get out on a Saturday. They want to do something for the planet, and they've never known how to do that. And we offer that alternative. And we're also starting to work with corporations who want to do team build, who want to do CSR projects. And they're saying, can you please take the team out on a Saturday or Sunday with you? There's 15 of us, there's 20 of us. And so it's 2-pronged. It's fantastic.
Yeah, great stuff. So there are a lot of beach cleanups going on around Malaysia and in Indonesia. I speak to people every week about beach cleanups and what motivates the people, and everybody's got a different story. What makes the Litter Club maybe different from what makes it special?
I agree with you, Peter. There are so many clubs out there, and it's just fantastic. As far as I'm concerned, the more the merrier. Let's all get out and pick up rubbish. It doesn't matter who you join with, which organisation you're part of. It's great to do that. Where the Litter Club, I guess, is a little bit different and a little bit unique is that we really focus on the celebration of what people do. Our world has become so desensitized by seeing rubbish in the ocean and rubbish on the beach, etc. We just have seen so many images that sadly, it doesn't impact us anymore. So we've really turned it around, and we make picking up litter fun. Sadly, I don't think we're ever going to be able to make it sexy, but we do make it fun. And it's about celebrating getting 30, 40, 50 people together to do the same thing. And we have a drone there, and we get people to dance, and we play music, and we make it an event. We celebrate the fact that our hashtag, if you can see my shirt, our hashtag is every piece matters. So, we celebrate the fact that one person has picked up one piece and made a difference to our planet. We don't do the old, look at our pictures and it's so bad and we all know the right thing to do. Let's try and have some fun while we're out there.
Oh, excellent. Sounds like a great day. Wish I could be there.
Wow, let's get vaccinated and we can get you here. We can get you here. You would love it. You get your dancing shoes on at the end of a day of picking up litter. It's good fun.
Okay, so let's just sort of move on to something that you were talking about. When I look at the Litter Club website, I see that your this data aspect is important. Can you tell us about what you're doing there?
It really is, Peter. My kind of day job. I work for a large multinational organization that is really focused on data. And data is incredibly powerful if we're going to make impacts and if we're going to find out trends, etc., and look at forecasting. It's very, very easy to collect. However, you've got to put the right mechanisms in place. And we've developed the Litter Club app, and you can download that on Google and Apple. And the neat thing about it, actually, it's almost there. We're just making a couple of tweaks. And the neat thing about it is you can actually record what you have collected, and you can break it down into kind of the top 12 items that you will find on a beach or in a river, such as cigarette butts and plastic bags, plastic bottles, etc. And you can actually report that. You can report if you can't pick it up and rectify it straight away. You can actually report it, and we will put it on social media. We're building communities around Southeast Asia and eventually globally, where community clubs will then be able to go, oh, there's an issue with some litter here at this place. Why don't we organize a cleanup this weekend and go and actually rectify the problem? So
okay, so just to make it understandable, the app is there to report the litter rather than to document the collection.
Dual facet. So yes, people can report, or if they are able to just clean it up, or they're doing a cleanup at that time, they can then audit, they can then complete an audit, and that will be around how much they collected, but not just how much as in kilograms, but actually how much as in, you know, individual kind of items. So we can start identifying. We know that cigarette butts are the biggest waste in litter in our oceans today. Comes from cigarette butts. So let's actually find out what's going on. We can then approach local councils, local governments, and federal government and say, not ban smoking, we don't want to put people off, but let's manage that waste better. Let's do more education, or let's have things where people can actually put their cigarette butts rather than let them get into our ocean.
So have I understood correctly that this app would be very suitable for every beach cleanup that's out there, that they can document what they've been doing, and not just photographs, but actual real data?
Absolutely, absolutely. And, you know, photographs obviously celebrating that they've done a cleanup, but exactly where that cleanup is, and then some good audit information, and then that really helps globally as to what we're looking to achieve.
So help me with that. I actually have installed the app, and I was looking at it. So I would I'm on a beach now. Maybe I'm on this beach here with these guys with the sacks, and I pick up a bottle, and then I would document the individual plastic bottle.
So I guess, yeah, there's two ways that we can do it. Individually, you can be collecting and we use rice bags before we transfer into these plastic bags. So typically we would use a rice bag. You would tip that rice bag out at the end, and then you would go through and we would sort it into piles, and somebody would actually do the audit. An alternative is we have people who go around, and as we one person throws it in the bin, and another person's actually recording what that is.
Okay, right, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, in the future for our release 2, we're hoping to have a little keypad where as you go, you can just go doot, and as you pick up one piece, you can actually enter it straight away. So that's release 2.
Okay, maybe it's obvious to you why data is so important, but maybe you could talk about that. What is the role of data in the whole thing?
So I think the role of data is incredibly important to start knowing where our biggest impacts on the environment are when it comes from a litter point of view. If we know that in this area it has a lot of plastic bag waste, or in this area it doesn't have so much, we can start to then identify how to do better waste management. And these are statistics maybe that a lot of the waste management organizations around the world don't specifically have access to, or they may be skewed from a local point of view. So it really does help when it comes to legislation in changing how we can manage the waste that's there. Also in education programs to say, wow, we're getting a lot of plastic bags, we're getting a lot of this. How can we educate people to eradicate that form of single-use plastic, which is typically what we're focusing on. So data provides the ability to be able to put the emphasis on what it is that we're trying to change. Otherwise, we just say, oh, there's a whole lot of cigarette butts in the ocean. But if we say we go along a beach and we clean a 1 meter by 1 meter, and this has been done locally in Malaysia, by the way, a 1 meter by 1 meter plate, and they scooped all the sand in and they put it through sieves and got all the cigarettes, and there were thousands within a 1 meter by 1 meter spot. I know. And this is just around a bar drinking area, actually on the beach where there's chairs actually on the beach. And there was literally thousands of cigarette butts in the sand pile. So it was, that's what you need to be able to show people to get them to change their attitudes. If they don't, then you need a better waste management system in place to be able to do that. Or alternatively, there needs to be consequences for the people who actually own or are using that part of the beach. So either they need to clean it up, or they are fined if they don't, or if they don't provide the right places for reciprocals for people to actually put those butts, etc.
Okay, so let's look, say, 5 years in the future. The app has been widely accepted by beach cleanup organizations. What would be the vision? What would you think would be the ideal situation, ideal scenario?
Obviously, we would like to track a reduction in certain areas and in certain single-use plastics mainly. So we would be looking at doing that, but also building future-proofing into the app. So yes, we want to tackle the problem that is happening now, but we really need to look at how we can also look towards the future and how we can regenerate and rejuvenate our planet. We know that it's covered in litter. We know that it's not getting any better. In the next 5 years, obviously with a lot more focus on this, we're hoping that there will be a reduction in some of the single-use plastic. But we also need to look at how we are looking for the future. And that's things at the moment we're looking at tree planting, at coral planting, at seagrass planting, etc., and how those can actually be incorporated into the app. So that a form of gamification, maybe, Peter, in the sense of if you're picking up rubbish, we're giving you points. Those points can then be transferred into how we're regenerating, rejuvenating our planet, and that can be through multiple platforms.
Okay, so what would be, as a final message to anybody listening to this podcast, what would be your statement or your encouragement? What action can everybody take?
Okay, yeah. Thanks, Peter. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to your listeners. If I had to say one thing today is Earth Day, and that's a moment for us to stop and reflect for just a minute as to how we have treated our planet previously and what we are giving to our children. This is the legacy that we leave to the ones who are following behind us. I guess for us, our main approach is that we are working hard to save the oceans and the lives they support. And every time we take the wrong action, which is typically the easy action, then we do something to damage our environment. And that is what we get to leave to our children. I think that it's important for us to just take a minute and to breathe. And yes, we know that we're busy and we have too much time to do things, but one small action can change the way that we do things. It can change the impact. If 7 billion people did one small thing, the impact would be phenomenal. So it starts with one small action, and it starts with every piece matters. So wherever you see something that's not right, don't be scared. Just do the right thing.
Do the right thing. What a fantastic message. Joss, from the Litter Club, congratulations on setting up this organization. Thanks, and kudos for all the work and the energy and resources that you're putting into it. Keep up the good work, and maybe we can talk again in 6 months, see how you're getting on.
That'd be great, Peter. Thank you so much for your support and your encouragement. We really appreciate it. And any way that we can bring not just the message from the Litter Club, but the message of just doing the right thing, it's so appreciative. And thank you to you and your followers for allowing us to be part of this. Really cool.
Excellent. Okay. Thanks, Joss.
Okay. Thanks, Peter. Take care.